Hello, and welcome back to Suzerain with the Republic of Swordland. And today's episode, well, let's see. Oh yeah, the last thing we did. The Grand Army transferred to the interior. We also got a new vice president, which I think is the biggest thing that happened last time, though. The palace decided to transfer the Grand Army force under the Ministry of Defense to the interior, following a dispute that occurred earlier in the week. It is reported that the two ministries have resolved the problems, and that the President Reign wanted to improve the internal versus external security structure. Officials from MOD did not comment on the transition publicly, when the Minister of Interior, Graf, hailed the move as a necessary one. Grand Army under Interior. The Grand Army, an esteemed armed law enforcement organization, plays a crucial role in maintaining security and public order. While its primary focus is on rural security, the Grand Army possesses the capabilities to be deployed at the request of mayors, offering support to ensure the safety and well-being of urban areas. Minister of Interior strengthened. The transfer of the Grand Army to the Ministry of Interior significantly increased the latter's internal authority, as it now has control over a well-equipped and highly trained force that is primarily responsible for maintaining law and order in rural areas. Woo! Efficiency! Well, it's been changed over, is what it's going for. Oh. International Airport under constructor, USP Mayor. The local municipality is governed by a mayor from the United Swordland Party. Okay. Apparently those are new. League of Women extends thanks. Swordish League of Women has thanked us for the personal donation. The spokesperson said, President Reign, thank you for your contributions to our cause, and to First Lady Monica, who pushed our agenda forward on the national stage. Woo! Equal Ability Bill. Recognizing the need to extend social benefits to all citizens, the Grand National Assembly has approved the Equal Ability Bill. Section 1 of the EAB proposes an amendment to the 1933 Compensatory Veterans and State Employees Disability Benefits Program. The amendment extends subsection 3 to include an earning replacement benefit applicable to all non-state employed citizens. Under the newly expanded program, any employees who suffer severe illnesses or become disabled, therefore losing their capability to work, will be provided a steady income by the state. This income will be set to 50% of their monthly salary, ensuring a measure of financial security for these citizens in their time of need. Sign. Equal Ability Bill. To support the Social Benefits Initiative, the Grand National Assembly, GNA, has approved the Emergency Assistant Bill. EAB, Section 1 of the bill, introduces amendments to Compensatory Veterans and State Employees Disability Benefits Program, expanding its provisions to include an earnings replacement benefit for all non-state employed citizens. Under this newly expanded program, individuals who experience severe illness or disability rendering them unable to work will receive a steady income from the state, equivalent to 50% of their monthly salary. This provision aims to provide supportive financial stability to those facing challenging circumstances. Disability benefits. Many Swordish citizens are benefiting and surviving thanks to disability benefits. Furthermore, dangerous jobs such as firefighting and law enforcement are being filled more frequently than before. This is partly due to the financial security provided by these benefits. Veteran and State Employee Program expanded. Dozens have cheered the positive news surrounding the signing of the expansion to the 1933 Veteran State Employee Program called the Equal Ability Bill, which include private employees with a salary payout from the government in the case of disability during employment. The positive news displays the voices of those who were demanding these changes from the administration for years was finally heard. Now the sick can just worry about recovering and joining the workforce as soon as possible. Woo! Let's go! Briefing on the current healthcare situation. Alright. I had a meeting scheduled with Pascal to receive the annual healthcare report. He arrived at my office with stacks of paper underneath both arms. Mr. President, he put the mounted papers on my desk. It made a loud thud sound. I know this seems like a lot. Reviewing it shouldn't take more than a day. He measured the pile again. Or maybe two. Very well, thanks for bringing these in. No problem at all. They contain very important information about the status of our healthcare. Salaries, expenditures, hospital reports, whatever you like. We could go through this together. Okay, let's begin. He continued, but I don't want to bore you, so I will quickly summarize. I breathed a sigh of relief as he put on his reading glasses to look at the document he was holding. So, we have concluded our report for the year. Thanks to the allocated funds, we have improved the healthcare in the country overall. I've used the resource to begin comprehensive health reform. We have more patients treated, less waiting times, and higher treatment quality than the years before. Just as I expected, it was a good decision to spend the budget on healthcare. I couldn't agree more. The foundations we laid so far will influence the years to come. We are certainly on the right path to challenge even Laspia or Vagsland in the matter. We are not there yet. However, give it a few more years, and we might even surpass them. We need to get to the level of the superpowers. It will take effort, but however, if we stay for another term, I'm sure we will. Moving on. Our privatization efforts had both positive and negative effects. It helped us raise further funds that we spent on improving the system. Privatized hospitals opened in many places with top-notch equipment. On the other hand, privatized hospitals are rather expensive even for an ordinary middle-class citizen. These are the expected growing pains of our healthcare system. I agree. Now we need to look into the future. Pascal skimmed the rest of the document before putting it down. Our new funds allowed us to build dozens of new hospitals around the country. We specifically focused on areas with a high demand of health service. Great to hear that more citizens have access to hospitals. Not just that, we have increased our overall bed count for patients, which increased the treatment capacity in many hospitals. The investments we poured into our rural health facilities has paid off greatly. The quality of care increased due to the upgraded equipment, and we were able to hire more healthcare staff. Let's go. Inequality is our worst enemy, and we are one step closer to beating it. The disparity in services needs more effort to be completely solved. However, the additional funds for the rural areas are a great start. All these efforts have resulted in clear improvement of access to health service for our citizens. Now that I've given you the short summary, there's a very important matter to discuss. Leaning over to grab his briefcase, he pulled out a tan-colored package. The package was stamped with big red letters that read confidential. Pascal opened the package and brought out a few documents. He handed them over to me. Take a look. I took the documents from his hand. It was a report from the Ministry of Health. Each page had a stamp on it that read, "For the President's eyes only." The report was titled, "Polio Outbreak in Bergia." How bad is it? For now, it seems to be under control. We have put a few villages under quarantine. The total number of infected is currently 1,467. The death toll is at 23 so far. A low death rate of it, at least. Like, that's... For that many people infected, 23 dead? I mean, to be fair, I'm used to COVID, so... It had a... You know... But, and, yeah. But honestly, you know, could be worse, could be worse. We're doing okay. If we have more outbreaks, the results will be terrible. I think we received additional funding to our healthcare. This should curb the infection ratio, although I'm afraid even that might not be enough. This is a very serious matter, Mr. President. The lives of Sword citizens are at stake. I will do whatever it takes to eliminate the threat. With that attitude, I have no doubt that we will succeed. We have done our research. There's a cure. A vaccine was recently invented in United Cortana, and the formula has been made available free across the world. No matter what people think of United Cortana, the same thing had happened in Arcadia. We would be paying a steep price for it. Thanks to the very good decision made by you to increase funding for our healthcare, with the capability to produce this vaccine locally. But I'm afraid simply having the vaccine won't help. We need to make sure they are administered. We need to implement a nationwide mandatory polio vaccination policy. With your order, I can immediately get to work to ensure we are doing whatever it takes. This might seem excessive, however. It is absolutely necessary. Whatever it takes to protect Swordland, do it. Excellent. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must get to work immediately. He got it from his seat. Thanks for your time, Mr. President. He left my office, leaving me alone with a lot of paperwork to go through. We're going to deal with this polio outbreak. Mandatory vaccinations. Suzerain has implemented a comprehensive mandatory vaccination policy in the healthcare system. This policy ensures that every individual, including children and adults, receives the necessary vaccinations in alignment with healthcare guidelines, safeguarding public health and preventing the spread of diseases. Due to a health emergency, the authorities have initiated an epidemic prevention plan, diverting all available resources towards containment measures. This comprehensive plan is designed to effectively address the health crisis and mitigate the further spread of the epidemic within the country. The plan reflects a protective approach to safeguarding public health and well-being. Epidemic prevented. Wow, that was quick. The Ministry of Health's prompt action and effective measures have successfully prevented the epidemic from spreading, thereby averting a major health crisis in Swordland. Thanks to the minister's strict implementation of protocols and guidelines, the country was able to contain the spread of the disease and keep the infection rates low. The tireless efforts to healthcare workers, including doctors, nurses, and medical staff, also played a crucial role in combating the epidemic. I don't know how bad it can get. I have never played this game without bumping healthcare up all the way, because the first time I did it, I just was like, well, I either want to go healthcare or education, not really caring too much for the other stuff, and then I just went with healthcare, because why not? And then I had that happen, and it dealt with pretty easy. And then I played the second time, and I was like, well, I'm doing healthcare again, I don't want to deal with that. Now I played this on this series, and I'm like, I'm going to choose healthcare again, I don't want to deal with the epidemic. I mean, I've been spoiled there was an epidemic at least a couple times, I think. Just not even realized. Rain displays compassion. The Rain administration signed a bill today that unlocks government payouts for people who have fallen sick and gravely ill and are able to work. The employees are to receive half of their salaries by the state and won't burden the many businesses creating jobs in the current economy. The president displayed compassion and understanding for the less fortunate. Disability bill to offer safety net. After a long period of heated discussion, the Grand National Assembly has passed an expansion to the existing 1933 Veteran State Employee Program, allowing private sector employees to claim a portion of their salary in the case of falling sick and gravely ill. The bill that was approved by the government ensures the unlucky in our society has a chance to continue living without falling below the poverty line. The government must be praised for this decision to extend the social safety nets of our society. Under new law, the employee incapable of working will be given 50% of their last salary every month until they recover and are able to work again. The government payouts won't burden the businesses as well. The move has been praised by the Vagslandian media that had been running a similar system for decades. Hey, the first thing we've done that Vagsland likes. Like, ever. Volcanic power. Yark-Talis harnesses advanced energy solutions. Yark-Tralis is pioneering the use of volcanic activity to power advanced technologies by employing innovative geothermal energy systems. These systems tap into the heat from the country's active volcanoes, converting it into electricity through a network of wells and heat exchanges that access geothermal reservoirs. Scientists channel the volcanic heat through geothermal plants, heating water into steam, which then drives turbines connected to generators. The implementation of closed-loop systems ensures ecological balance by cooling and returning the water to the ground. This groundbreaking approach has turned a geographical challenge into an opportunity for sustaining development, positioning Yark-Tralis as a global leader in renewable energy. The success of this project sets a precedent for other nations, opening doors to further exploration and development of alternative energy sources. Nice! Crotonan Security Pact. CSP condemns Bergia Special Autonomous Zone. The CSP has expressed its concerns, condemning the initiative due to its potential exploitation by separatist groups. Specifically, the CSP cites worries about the British Freedom Front, a separatist nationalist group that might leverage its autonomy to destabilize the region, allegedly with funding with the Kingdom of Rubberg, which they also blame the Republic of Acacia for actively supporting. The CSP believes that the establishment of the Bergia Autonomous Zone might inadvertently provide a platform for such groups to exert their influence, which could lead to the heightened tensions of potential conflicts. The CSP has called upon the internal community to carefully monitor the unfolding situation, act proactively to prevent any escalation. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm going to ignore that. ATO supports the Bergia Autonomous Zone in Swordland. See? And they're the one I'm going for anyways, so get over yourself. In a significant move that showcases the global community's commitment to minority rights, the ATO has extended its support to the establishment of the Autonomous Zone in Bergia and Swordland. The Autonomous Zone has been designated to provide the British minority with local autonomy and the freedom to preserve and promote their cultural heritage. The ATO has lauded this step as a progressive effort towards inclusivity and respect for minority rights. The establishment of the Bergia Special Zone is a strategic initiative aimed at promoting special social harmony, and mutual respect within the diverse population of Swordland. It signifies the government's intent to ensure equal rights and freedom for all its citizens, regardless of their ethnic or cultural background. While acknowledging this initiative, the HEO is optimistic that the establishment of the zone will bring about long-term stability and peace in the region. Yeah, there we go. They're right. The other side's wrong. Protests against gender inequality or gender equality in education. Swordish housewives have turned out in record numbers to protest the presidential decree ordering gender equality in education. Most of the demonstrations appear to be centered in Anrica, with Mayor Curtin-Lest's administration providing the protesters with permits and security staff. Ignore. Desolinization started. The process of desolinization has begun, starting with the removal of Turk and Sol's statue from Capitol Park. By the end of this month, it is expected that hundreds of similar statues, portraits, and other likenesses will be removed from every city and town in Swordland. Woo! Healthcare spending. There is a significant budget left in the Ministry of Health that we can spend on several different programs in order to improve healthcare in Swordland further. Funds could be used to create a medical scholarship, build a state-of-the-art medical school, give free eye tests, or dental care. Well, as someone with glasses, I am partial to giving free eye tests, but that's literally just because, I mean, my character has glasses too, but I wear glasses in real life. So I'm always partial to that just because. Beautiful. But I think I will go with, yeah, let's go with starting a medical scholarship. That sounds nice. Scholarship for health education. Health reform. A concept of the health reform has been implemented to enhance healthcare services and ensure access to free care for citizens of need. This reform seeks to address existing gaps, improve healthcare delivery, and enhance the well-being of the population. The increased budget allocation for healthcare provides new economic opportunities for improving care, expanding healthcare programs and initiatives. Scholarships for health education. The new Health Education Scholarship Initiative is providing thousands of students with unprecedented access to higher education opportunities. This program is aimed at increasing the number of healthcare professionals and improving the overall quality of healthcare in Swordland. The scholarships cover tuition, textbooks, and other related expenses for students pursuing healthcare degrees in various fields such as nursing, medicine, and dentistry. The program has received positive feedback from students and healthcare professionals alike, as it has opened up doors for many who previously could not afford to pursue their dreams. See, that's what I was going for. That's what I was hoping it would be like, is that it would cause, because I'm really focusing with healthcare specifically, helping not the cities, but the countryside, because that's where, well, healthcare is poor. The cities already have good health coverage at the moment. New Medical Scholarship Program. The Ministry of Health announced a new medical scholarship program created with the assistance of the President to give the opportunity for exceptional students at the best medical schools. The program will raise thousands of talented doctors, nurses, and dentists to the workforce in the future. The massive funds set aside was highly praised by Minister Pascal Binawal. And let's just have a meeting with the family. As I stepped through the front door of our stately residence, a sense of tranquility watched over me. The house was quiet, almost too quiet, without Frank blasting his music from upstairs. I entered the grand study and let the warm glow of the room envelop me. Monica was sitting by the fireplace with a very old-looking book in her hands. What are you reading? Oh, I didn't realize you were home. I took some books from the presidential library. This one in particular caught my eye. She showed me the book she was holding. I didn't recognize the author, but the name sounded Vaglish. It's about the woman's struggle in post-revolution Vagsland and its breakaway states. That actually sounds like a great read. It is, especially the part about Gomland and the Empire's former Rican colonies. I had no idea the women there managed to organize so well and so early. It's very inspiring, actually. But anyways, is everything really going well at work? Especially after everything that happened with Peter. Yeah, I wish it had gone differently. I understand, but honestly, maybe it was all for the best in the end. Thanks to you, I was just about the only woman at university he didn't go after. But I saw the way he was, and how he continued to be. The truth is, that man has always been a bad influence on you. And I don't think he should be forgiven after what he did. I know Peter had his problems, Monica, but is my closest friend. I don't want to badmouth him behind my back. I know, I'm sorry. I don't know, Anton. All this seems to have put you under a massive amount of stress. Maybe we can make some time for a little getaway. We can have a weekend retreat out in the countryside. What do you think? Just the two of us? Well, Frank's not around anymore, and I'm sure Deanna would love a sleepover at one of her friends, so why not? Just then, we heard the patter of small feet approaching the study. Deanna appeared by the door with a piece of folded paper clutched in her hand. Mama, Papa, my school report came in. Monica and I immediately turned our attention to her. Our curiosity peaked. Very well, bring it here and let's assess your progress together. Deanna unfolded the paper and gave it to me. I was so close to top of the class. I heard a mix of pride and disappointment in her voice. Oh my, we've got a genius in the house. Watch out, Whole Swords #2 student is on the loose. You did great, darling. We're so proud of you. She knelt down and gathered Deanna into her arms. I know, but I still kind of feel bad. I'm sure I wouldn't have been at the top if the boys at school weren't so annoying. Ever since they started letting the girls take science classes, they've been distracting us during exams. And the teachers don't even care. And then there's that stupid blonde boy, Marcus. He never even studies, but the teachers always give him higher grades than everyone else. Don't call him stupid, baby. Who is this Marcus? I told you about him, Mommy. Marcus Claven, the one who can't even do basic math, remember? Oh, wait, did you just say Claven? Yes, that's his last name. Actually, I may know his father. Really? His father come to the school a couple of times and shouted at the teachers. He did he? It looks like I have a lot of talking to do. Okay. Isn't that the one challenged you for the USP candidacy, Anton? Why is your party still filled with men like this? Yes, that's him, all right. Great. Anyway, are you hungry? I didn't cook today, but the chef prepared a wonderful Riesian meal for us. Yay! Yes! Great, I'm starving. Me too, let's eat. She grabbed Deanna's hand and we walked to the kitchen together. Yeah, food, food, food. Look, I just like food. I don't care about anything else. Like, let's eat food. WPB mayor, the local municipality governed by a mayor from the Workers' Party of Bludia. Yeah, now that's a, thing. Again, like a chill allowed, we're all good. Bergia Autonomous Zone. This city is part of the Bergia Autonomous Zone and is governed by the Bergian Regional Assembly, led by the governor of Bergia from the headquarters in Dier. Yeah, all of these now have that sort of stuff. Oh, this also has homelessness, though. Yeah, WPB. You have low literacy rates, though. Then just looking around, it's like everywhere has so many bad things still, though. Support Asphalt Anniversary. I question support and attend the Remembrance Rally of the Asphalt Anniversary is about to begin in Suzerain. The Bloodish movement is holding their largest rally yet to display their demands and strength. Due to the activity of the BFF in the area, the security detail advises to take caution. The administration can go to Suzerain to support the event, with or without an armored convoy, or not attend at all. I'm going to attend to support and not bring an armored convoy. Let's just hope we don't get assassinated. Solidarity for Wantina Arshraff's anniversary. On our way to Suzerain, we stopped in Dier to meet with the new governor of Bergia, Ishval Erzin, to discuss the implementation of the Autonomous Zone. He welcomed us with great sympathy and care and wished us the best for the event. After a few-hour drive, we finally arrived in the ancient walled city of Suzerain. The city had been on particular importance to the Bloodish people ever since Isfal incident and the death of Watani Ashraf over 2 decades ago. Today we are here to commemorate the anniversary of those events. These ceremonies were to be held in the aptly named Isval Square, several blocks away from Lake Sol and the sunken ruins of the village of Izam. We entered the historic center and the presidential Cadilla. I gazed out its windows at the city's run-down buildings. Our convoy could barely fit through the narrow streets, disrupting local traffic and creating noisy chaos in the unusually tranquil city. Pedestrians stared at us with concern as we and our security forces drove towards the square. Hey, we didn't bring an armed transport, at least for just us with a few guards, because, you know, you're the president. Even if you're not bringing armed transport, you're gonna have some guards. I must say, this was a good decision, sir. After giving the British autonomy, this will send a strong message that you are on their side. That was my intention all along. As expected, we are almost there. I can hear the crowd. I heard the chants and shouting from outside. Lucien leaned closer to the window, listening to their voices. They seem to be chanting your name, sir. I believe they are happy with their new autonomy. A large crowd had assembled in the square. There were probably at least 10,000 people. Our vehicle came to a stop. My driver exited the vehicle and opened the door for me. We were greeted by Mesam Leek. He wore a coat over his suit, which was marked with the red and turquoise stripes of the British movement's flag. He moved forward to greet us. Welcome to Suzerain, Mr. President. Take his hand and raise it in display of unity. I held our clasped hands up so that the crowd could see them. I heard some applause from the crowd. Mr. Leek? Mr. Gallade, welcome. Shall we move on to the sanctuary then? Let's go. We made our way to the Suzerain sanctuary, which stood at the end of the square. A much smaller replica of the arch sanctuary in Deir. The ancient building had a mystical aura emanating from its blackened walls. We entered the building through the ornamented large metal gates. As we walked, the noise of the crowd faded out. Everyone fell silent for the ceremony. Thousands of candles were burning inside the sanctuary, one for each person that died in Ism. The red candle in the center was for Watani Arshrath. Well, I must say, Lucien over here is a lot more respectful and stuff like this. I know Peter probably would make a joke about this event right now, and it would make everyone annoyed, so there is that. Menson gestured towards the candles. Pick up a candle. He picked up the candle for Ashrath and started walking out. Many others followed suit, including us. The atmosphere outside had completely changed. Not a single noise came from the crowd. We slowly walked towards Ashrath's grave. On the way, hundreds of people joined us. We arrived. He pointed out a huge standing torch above the grave. Light the torch together with Mensum. We lit the torch together. I turned around and realized the sheer amount of people who were following us. They were all looking at me, waiting to hear what I would say. My fellow citizens. We are here to mourn those who tragically lost their life in Isam. I'm not standing before you today as president. I'm standing here as one of you. I share your hatred and anger. I feel it too. I share you like a red-hot iron. It takes a long time for it to cool. But I look at the lost lives and think, what would they want? An old man from the crowd yelled, "He is right!" We are all the same before God. Remember the words, love thy brother and thy sister. Let this be a testament of our unity for future generation. Let's stand together as blood and sword. The responsibility falls on all of our shoulders because we don't have anyone but each other. Yorlak, Bludrat. There was no reaction from the crowd, only silence. I must admit, Mr. President, that was a good speech. Thank you. He extended his hand to me for a handshake. I'm gonna hug him. Instead of going for a handshake, I spread my arms and hugged him. Suddenly, the whole crowd erupted in applause. Yeah! Yeah, that's our president! Thank you for this, Mr. President. I don't think the people of Urzarin will ever forget this. You have become the first and only president brave enough to come to Urzarin and pay respects to the Ism victims. I hope this will be the start of a new era. Thank you. Lucian rushed over to me. Sir, it's time to go. We started making our way back to the convoy. Well done, sir. This will prove very useful in the upcoming elections. Time will tell. Though really, I'm thinking that not everything's about votes, but Lucian keeps me on track for that. I mean, honestly, this is gonna get complicated. Because, honestly, I should get a lot of support from some women and a lot of support from minorities. But my conservative, which is normally my main base, is not really there. In fact, if anything, I think my best chance is that people that would normally vote PFJP actually just vote for me instead. Like, they literally change parties because they support me so much. But because I don't know how much of the actual USP core I will get, because I've been a horrible... Conservatives do... I would be shocked if I got voted in because of conservatives, like I did when I first got elected. We entered our vehicles and started making our way back home from Urzarin. I mean, I'm probably as radical as Alfonso, the guy before me, so I mean, like they didn't really get out. They didn't really just, like, go on to get, like, oh, good, here's our guy, we're moving on from that. Nope. I'm continuing his policies and actually making them successful. And actually more radical than him. But anyways, I think this is a good time to go ahead and end this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button. And as always, peace.